Hello, 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 and welcome back. Welcome back to Voices Behind the Wall of TDCJ. Of course, I am the Queen, Queen Angela. I am the co-founder of the Free Texas Campaign. And I got my hands in so much more, but I'm excited to be here on today with every chance I get to be before you guys, the opportunity to share. But if you would, please take this opportunity to share this in your circle of influence. If you would, just share it out, share it with somebody because you never know what the next person may be in need of or what the next person may be able to assist with. If you would like to donate to the show, you can please donate. It is streaming at the bottom of the screen. If you like to reach me, you may reach me, of course, at Linktree, Queen of Collaborations. And if you would like to reach the Free Texas campaign, you can always email me at gmail.com. Well, I'm going to move on out the way. And allow Mr. Orlando the floor for the next 30 minutes. Here you go, sir.
How y'all doing out there? This is Orlando Reyes. Just reiterate on my story that I told y'all a couple podcasts ago. Uh, my name's Orlando Reyes. I'm from Corpus Christi, Texas. I'm 43 years old. I'm currently serving a 50-year aggravated sentence for a crime that I did not commit for indecency with a child. Uh, I've been incarcerated now 12 years now. It's been tough. It's been a rough road. Uh, but through it all, I've continued to keep my faith in God and keep a positive mindset. But I just want to share a little bit of my story with you. Back in 2012, I went to trial for this case, and it was originally a 3-count indictment. One was for aggravated sexual assault. The other 2 were for indecency with a child. On the day of trial, they decided to waive and abandon counts 2 and 3 and take with 1. They found me not guilty for count 1 for the aggravated charge, but they included a lesser included offense of indecency, which had already been waived and abandoned. So those were counts 2 and 3. But the judge abused her discretion and allowed the DA to submit it as a lesser included offense. So they found me guilty on that, and it was rough. I didn't know at the time what they had done to me till later on. I think back in 2018, I started to do research on my case because I had lost my appeals. I had lost my state level appeal, my direct appeal, my federal appeal. So I was, I decided to dig on my own, do my own research, and I didn't have a free will lawyer. I don't have a lot of money like that. My people don't have money like that, so I just started to do my own research, and I saw this in the indictment. I saw how they had waived the counts. I started going through my transcripts, and I was like, man, this doesn't seem right. How can they use a charge that they dropped? How can they use it as included? It clearly states on the record that they waived and abandoned it. So I started looking at the case law. I went to the law library for about a year, and I see all these cases where these inmates argued this issue, and they got acquitted. It's to an acquittal. This type of issue. So you cannot come back and reuse it, but the state still did it, and here I am with a 50-year sentence. In my trial, she couldn't point me out. She couldn't identify me when they asked her where I was in the courtroom. Uh, this is a family member of the ex-girlfriend that I was dating. I had been with previously for 3 years, and we ended up moving in with them. But I was only around her for like 2 weeks, and then she moved to her grandparents' house, and she made an outcry to her aunt. And if you read everything in my case, you'll see that something transpired there. I don't know whether it was a made up story or whether somebody actually did something to her. But in the initial hospital report, they show an interview with her and her mom, and she states in the interview report, and she states in the interview that it was this was an expert that had interviewed her, and this is what they said. Victim says that 29-year-old boyfriend, no, 24-year-old boyfriend of sister-in-law sexually assaulted the victim. Which I wasn't 24 at the time. I was 31. I was not the boyfriend of the sister-in-law, but this person was never sought out as a suspect, and I didn't really. I saw it, but my lawyer was like, "Just leave it alone. We got this." So I was like, "Damn!" But in my own mind, I was scratching my head like, "Well, shouldn't this guy be sought out?" You know what I mean? So, because I didn't do it. So if she's claiming that this happened, somebody did it, but for some reason I was getting the finger pointed at. So I ended up getting accused and with the trial, and then on the day of trial, she also stated her uncle touched her, which was like a white complected person, but we have nicknames in the Hispanic culture. We use a lot of nicknames to refer to relatives and stuff. And she did call her uncle Weddle. Everybody called him Weddle. And they put her mom on the stand and the aunt also, and they verified that don't refer to this person as Weddle. And they were like, yeah. And they're like, well, who is this person to you? Well, that's my brother-in-law. And then they asked the aunt, and she's like, who's this person to you? Well, that's my brother. So y'all call him Weddle? Like, yeah, we call him Weddle. Okay, well, so that was verified, but they excluded him because he was locked up a year prior. So they said that the time issue did not apply to him because he had already been locked up. So they excluded him as a suspect, and they just went ahead and went after me. And it's crazy. A lot of stuff happened that was wrong, but that's pretty much sums it up right there. And it's been a struggle. I don't have much support in the outside world. The girlfriend that I was with, she stayed with me for 6.5 years. So that means something. That people don't see it, but if I feel like you did something to my family member, I don't want to have nothing to do with you. But this woman stayed with me and supported me for 6.5 years, and she knew I was innocent. She would always apologize and say, "I'm sorry for what my family did to you," and stuff like that. But she's human too, so she got lonely. It was overwhelming for her, so she just decided to step away and live her own life, and. But yeah, she stayed with me for 6.5 years, so that was something to me. That meant something to me. That showed me that there's still people that believe in me. But without financial support, it's just hard. Without that free world lawyer, without that signature on them appeals. I also like to mention also that I just got my answer from my actual innocence appeal, which I raised double jeopardy. And you can read double jeopardy at any moment on actual innocence on a subsequent writ. And they denied that, and the state denied it without written order. And when they deny it without written order, that means that they just went along with the trial court's recommendation. They don't even take time to look at it, review it, None of that. They just basically saying, "Yeah, okay, we take your word for it, and we're going to put our stamp of denial on there, and that's all there is to it." And then they move on to the next one. So it's sad how the judicial system works. Uh, there needs to be some reform, some type of reform. We need help. We need as many voices as we can get to raise these issues, to present these issues, especially to um, our state government. It's sad to say because I don't even trust the state government. I really don't. Ken Paxton just got acquitted of 60 charges. They had all this dirt on him, and he gets acquitted on all 16 charges. Like, if the guilty gets found innocent, the innocent gets found guilty. There's no justice. But we need some change. We need some change desperately. That's pretty much all I got on that.
Wow. Well, that's a lot. Dang. Whew. Well, I wish you much luck on your case. Like I say, we're gonna be sharing. Of course, I share these videos as much as I can on the various sites that I have them on. But I just need for people that tune in to share it as well. If you would share it on your platforms, um, and invite your friends and family to share it out for you as well, as I invite my friends and family to share it out. But my heart goes out to each and every one of you guys that have been on today, because I tell you, y'all are fighting a battle, and it seemed like it just keep going in circle, because it's like nobody wants to get on board and fight with you guys. I just can't see all this corruption happening right before your eyes, and you keep turning a blind eye to it. Like, it was blatantly, like, I just knew. Well, they had two Republicans that went against the GOPs, but it was said already before they went in that if people voted against Ken Paxton, that it was going to be trouble. So those two that voted against Ken Paxton, they in for some trouble with these GOPs. But people got to stand up, and they got to take a stand for what's right. For too long, I mean, some of y'all been locked up for 10, 20, 30 years for things that y'all did not do, and for simple things that could be corrected by people just getting up off their butt and making a phone call or signing off on documents. And it's crazy when different courts have told you that you're innocent, and different courts have said this and said that, but yet they holding on to these limitations of time limitations, and just it's just sad. The state of Texas need to wake up. The people in the state, the citizens in the state of Texas need to wake up, because this could be your family member. If y'all listen to, just go over to the Free Texas campaign and listen to these different segments. There's approximately 96 videos up over there that talks about things that are happening within the TDCJ. That is the Texas Department of Criminal Justice. It's sad. This current lockdown is disheartening, because they have you on lockdown, and the food that they're serving, I wouldn't serve it to an animal, and they have the nerves to serve it to grown men that are humans. It's just sickening and sad. But as long as we sit by and allow it to happen, is there anything that you would like to say to the people before we leave on today? Because I want them to truly get what is really happening and what y'all are enduring, because of judicial errors, and because of judicial people behind the judicial system that are seeking money and power, because at the end of the day, that's what it's all about, money and power. They forget about the people's lives that they are affecting. But if you can tell briefly as we close how your life has been affected, you sit behind prison walls innocently, yet you're trying to stay positive. It has to have some kind of toll on you. And I want you to make a plea to the people today, because there has to be somebody out there that will hear this live, hear this recorded as a replay or as a share, and will want to do something about this. If you would, please make a plea to the people as we close.
Yeah, it's affected me greatly, and it's been really hard. I shed tears for 5, 6 years straight. When I first got incarcerated, I felt like nobody cared. I felt abandoned. I felt like people didn't believe me. And with this type of case, people can be very judgmental and critical. And so you can imagine the mental anguish that I felt just with that alone. Then having to wake up in this place every day, knowing that I didn't do this crime, and losing time for my family, for my loved ones, losing time on hopes, dreams, and goals that I once had. It's just crushing my spirit. And had it not been for my faith in God and Jesus Christ, I probably would have lost myself. Who knows if I'd still be here today? But and then having to deal with short of staff, getting racked up, being on lockdown, it's just stressful, man. It's just the food that they serve. They serve pork like crazy over here. Like that's the main thing they'll serve is pork. And a lot of us don't eat pork. And they serve artificial meat. Some of that stuff is artificial, not even real meat. The portions are horrible. Little cups, little white styrofoam cups that are not even filled to the top. It's crazy. And just having to deal with all that, and having to deal with prison environment, it all weighs on you. It all weighs on you, and then they don't really offer much, especially on this unit. I'm on the Connolly unit in Kennedy, Texas, and they're always having a shortage of staff. There's corruption going on with the staff. Several staff members here have been had charges on them. Some of them get acquitted and get their jobs right back, and then get promoted to higher ranking. It's insane, man. It's insane the way things get done around here. It's like they turn a blind eye, and the way you get treated, the way you get talked to, like you're a piece of garbage. It's amazing what they get away with, and nobody wants to speak up. We got too many people that fear. The fear of man is a snare. The Bible says the fear of man is a snare. So when you have that fear, no one wants to stand up for what's right because they fear what might happen to them. But that's the risk we have to be willing to sacrifice sometimes for the greater good. But a lot of us we get complacent when we start to conform to our environment. We become products of our environment. We wake up in the same ritualistic routines, and it programs one's mind into being a slave mindset, and so you just bow down to whatever they say. And of course, you have to respect authority, you have to obey, but at the same time, there is a grievance process. There are ways to stand up for what is rightfully yours. Even though you're locked up, you still have rights. You still have certain rights. But my people perish for lack of knowledge because most of us don't know. You know, most of us don't know, and most of us ain't willing to take the time to know. So, we need great leaders to rise up, people with integrity, people with that are willing to sacrifice themselves for the greater good, people that don't fear what man will do to them. You know, and until we get that, until we rise up in unity, we'll always be divided. So that's the problem here in the prison environment. There's no unity if we're not willing to stand up for what's right. So they tuck their head between their tails and they just don't say anything. And the mistreatment, the unjust punishment continues to take place. And it's going to continue to take place until we stand up. And I don't mean like to riot or nothing. I'm not inciting no riot or I don't encourage none of that. I don't encourage violence. But to speak up and to voice your belief for what's rightfully yours, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I got on that. If anybody wants to support me, my TDC number is 017969116. Orlando Reyes. I'm at the Kennedy unit. I'm at the Connolly unit in Kennedy, Texas. If you want to reach out to me, please do. Please reach out to me. And even if it's just a letter of encouragement, we got this new system with the tablets now, so everything has to go to Dallas. All mail has to go to Dallas. You can probably find that on the Securus app. And, just share my story, please. If you hear my story and you're touched by it, and you believe what I say, help me. Help me to spread my story. That's all I got on there. Thank you for allowing me to share my story.
Well, thank you for stopping by and sharing with me on today. And I want to encourage everyone to please to share this. If you would, I will be posting the address where you guys can mail information if y'all would like to reach out to them. Y'all like to mail them. I'll also have their TDC numbers posted as well. Also, if you're not following the Free Texas campaign page, please go over and follow it on Facebook, and also you can follow it on YouTube. But I would encourage you guys to stay connected. We also have a petition that is on the Free Texas campaign page. If you guys would please sign that petition. We are up to, I think we're right at about 20 signatures, but we're pushing as many signatures as possible. So we need you guys sharing it. Does not hurt to share. Does not cost you anything to share. Just a little love. So if y'all would share it, know that the Queen loves you, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. Y'all be blessed, and we'll be back on next Monday. Same time, same place. I love you guys, and thank you for all your support. Please share this out for me.